Okay, welcome into the round pen with springtime here. And I've been just round penning her a little bit for about 5 or 10 minutes here. Just getting her mind on me. I've said before, you can't make an Arabian tired, which is not my goal. Just want to get her mentally kind of tuned into me. She seems like she's all right. She's kind of a little bit ADD, I guess you'd say. It's kind of takes a bit to keep her attention, and part of that's just because she's really smart, and I think she gets bored easily. That's just my assumption on that thing. Okay, so now I'm going to get the tarp out, and this is, again, I think the second time she's seen the tarp. So let me fold it up here a little bit. She's not trying to run away from it at all, is she? All right, come here, smart girl. Good, so she's following that real nicely. Let her catch up and sniff it. Beautiful. So you can think of this like trying to rewire her brain. She came into this world with a pre-wired brain that says run away from anything that moves and makes a noise that you don't know what it is. Even if you do know what it is, run away from it anyway. Okay, that's the way she was born. So we're going to ask her to see if she can rewire her brain a little bit and not run away from something that moves and makes a noise and looks really scary and sounds really scary. Okay? So far she's doing extremely well. Okay? So I'm just letting her look at it. It's about 6 feet away from her hind legs there. And we'll get it up to about 4 feet. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Y'all that are Arabian lovers, this is the kind Arabian I like. Okay, now she got a little snorty there when she kind of turned toward it. So I'm just going to stop and let her think through that a minute. Yeah, good. Let her explore it, walk on it, stomp on it, paw it, whatever she thinks she needs to do to convince herself that it's not dangerous. Okay, let's go right back to it. Okay, now I'm going to move this because she got it under the stirrup and I don't want it to get caught where I can't release it if I need to. Okay. Hold on, let me move these bridle reins. Okay. That'll give me a little more freedom to move it back and forth on the saddle horn. There we go. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. So I didn't really like that. I was just moving the saddle and she walked off. So that's her nervous energy. Okay. It's her nervous energy, but she has to learn to control that emotion and wait on me. Okay. Also, she has a different bit in her mouth than the one I've ridden her in the last few days, which doesn't seem to be affecting her at all. Okay. Now that it's my idea, I'm going to squeeze with my legs and say walk off. Good. Good girl. Okay. And I just realized the bridle reins on this bridle are a little long for her, so I'm going to try to keep them off the ground. All right. Okay, I love where her head is. The last few days when I've been riding her, her head stayed pretty high most of the time. I love it that head's dropping. Okay. That tells me she's starting to get okay with what's going on up here. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm rubbing her neck and scratching on her, telling her I like what she's doing, that she's doing exactly what I'm asking her to do. Okay, good. All right, let's do an outside turn, yield the hindquarters. Again, if y'all weren't watching, I wouldn't be talking. I'd just be doing this stuff. It's actually, I think, a little bit distracting for the horse. And I know I'm going out of your frame, but I just can't help that. Okay. Okay. I think all the talking distracts them, but she needs to learn to handle it anyway. Okay, so get where you can see me. Now I'll yield her hindquarters this way. A little stiffer coming around there. Okay, stiffer in the face. And if a horse is stiff, by the way, the stiffness is not in their face, the stiffness is in their body. So she's naturally bent to the left. Her mane is on her left side. Her body bends naturally to the left. So she's naturally a little stiffer when I go to the right and ask her to bend to the right. So I'm going to bump her in the belly, bump her in the rib cage, because that's really where the stiffness is. Okay? There. She softened up, so I eased up with my legs. It's actually pretty good. All right, there we go. In these first few rides, I'll hold a handful of mane with one hand. And the reason I do that is because I'm not really used to the horse's movements. Once I get used to her, how she moves, how she reacts to things, then I'll quit doing that. Good. That's nice. I asked her to make a little tighter circle and she did. But just hanging on the mane just gives me a little extra security. Because she's an Arabian and she's quick as a cat. There you go, good. That's pretty nice. And the reason she can do these nice circles with only a few rides is because of all the ground driving that I did. Okay, let's switch directions. I'll switch hands with my bridle reins here. There we go. She got distracted, started looking at something out there, but I got her back. Good. Good. Okay. Good. Okay. Now I think we're far enough along. What I can do here is try some figure eights, which will take, I'll have to let go of the mane to do it. But I'm feeling pretty good about it, okay? So I'm gonna come here, left circle, and they'll be a little ugly in the beginning. Let's do a right circle, honey. There you go. Okay, good. Now we'll switch back to a left circle. Good. And again, this is one of many reasons I ground drive horses. So she already knows this stuff. I don't have to try to teach it to her with me on her back. Okay, there we go. That's pretty good. So she's relaxing as we do this. I can feel her back relaxing underneath me. And that's kind of what I was waiting on. She's not so much on the muscle. Good girl. Come on. Okay. Okay. Now I don't want her to. Come on. Okay. So she stopped by the gate there. Wrong answer. Okay. All right, so I'm going to try a lope here. And if we get it, fine. If we don't, it's not that big a deal. Here's how I like to do that in the beginning. Is I'll just get a horse trotting fast. So I don't want to make a big thing about the lope. I kind of want it to be her idea. And I'll get them trotting pretty fast. And a fast trot is the most work for a horse. They burn more calories at a fast trot than at a lope. So if you get them trotting fast, they'll kind of think, well, it'd be easier if I would lope. They don't think that, they just do it. So I'm not necessarily going to ask her for a lope. I'm just going to keep her in this fast trot. And she'll probably lope just because she thinks it might be a little easier. Like I say, if she doesn't, it's not a big deal. Can always do it tomorrow. There we go. And when she does lope, I release everything. Okay, we'll go right back to it. She loped, what, about 4 steps? So I'm kicking her, I'm kissing. When she lopes, I'll take everything off and relax. There we go. Okay, that was my fault. Again, I made a mistake. I let my breath out when she started loping, and I did it loud enough that she thought it meant slow down, because she knows that cue that I use quite a bit. So I'm certainly not going to get after her for that. She did what she thought I wanted her to do. Good girl.